Anyway, I'll give you quick facts. We're going to be replacing the asbestos water lines. The hatched area is everywhere that we're going to be replacing. This should be all of the asbestos lines in this area, in this neighborhood. If we happen to get some questions about what about down Old Bay and here, as far as we know, those have already been replaced. But if we get out there and we discover they're not, we'll add them to this project. The goal is to get all the asbestos and transite pipe out of the ground in this area. This is a $3.3 million project. It's going to take about a year. So they're looking at starting the beginning of May, I believe. Is that kind of what we're doing? Yeah, so they'll be starting pretty soon. You'll see equipment showing up. Most of the work is going to be outside of the asphalt. We're going to do a lot of boring because there's lots of trees and driveways and mailboxes. There's lots of obstructions in this project, so we have a lot of boring. So will have to dig some in your yards to tie your water lines back in.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I'm having, number one, bear with me because I lost hearing in my ear.
Sure.
And, but my question to you is this. You said outside the asphalt. Okay, that means that you're going to be going on both sides of the street.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the street is here. You're going to be mooring on that side, that same street, and the other side.
Well, no. We're still going to have to cut across the street to run services in some places. So, and in some places we're not going to bore. Some places we are going to
So
open
you're talking
cut.
about direct board.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So every street's a little different. I don't know we have the plans. After we're done, if you want to come look at the plans of your street and see what we're doing.
It's interesting, it's important to me because the streets are worn out.
Right. Yes.
And I was hoping that you would be going down the middle of the street.
We're going to try.
They missed the air and the streets are worn out.
I know. And I will say that, and Dr. Tisdale, he's been wanting to pay us to pay for the streets forever. And I'm like, just wait, we have this water line coming. Please just wait. So our goal is to be able to go in and then overlay as many of the streets as we can. I can't promise, it depends on how much money we have left, about what will get done and what won't. But our goal is to try to get as many paid as possible when this project is done.
So, but you don't know if you're going to be sure to be going on one side of the street and then direct board.
Well, every street's a little different, so we can look at the plans if you want. Maybe after we finish this, you can come up and look.
Okay.
I'll pull the plans over here to you, and we can look at your street and see exactly.
Yeah,
what's going on.
we're on Mark Road, which is just south of Old Bay.
Okay.
So the beginning of this project is going to start on Old Bay, or is it going to start on Mark Road?
I'm not sure. Do you know which plan it is?
We're going to do this in phases. Phase one will be from Martin. It'll be Martin, Carter, Old Bay. We'll go from north to south, Top Ferry west to Churchill up to Old Bay. We're going to use Bay Vista as the break line. So we get everything north, tied in, connected, get your grasses and all that stuff, get you on that system, and then we'll be moving south. There'll be some overlap. We'll be moving to the south phase two, probably mid-June. I want to do the bores first, because if we get the bores in, then we come in with the tie to the bores. That way, it makes it a little bit faster. Bores are sporadic, depending on what the trees or hardscape or some really nice landscaping that we would really destroy if we're not going to. We'll be able to bore that section. We'll move some around if we need to.
You have, what you're saying is segmented. Segmented is what you're talking about. You do part of the street on one end and a part of another, and then in the middle?
Most of the water lines will run on the same side of the street. They'll be the opposite side of where the water line is now in most cases. Where the old line is now, we're going to be on the opposite side. We will have to bore under for the meters, meter connections, stuff like that. The fire hydrants will all be on the side of the new main. So really the lateral bores underneath will be for the meter connections.
Okay, can we do one thing? Clarify water main. When we read that, a lot of people don't know what that
Well,
The
it's,
water main, are you saying it's the main water line going down the street? And that's
Yes,
what you spider web it off to houses? Is that correct?
correct, yes.
that's correct.
All right.
There's a 8-inch main line that runs down the street and circulates the majority of the water and feeds the hydrants. Then there's 1-inch lines that go to the houses that connect to that main line.
What happens is, this has been my case, or I would mention it, okay? And I don't mean to dominate the conversation, but I need to know this. I have 2 driveways, one of which goes into my front of my house, and the other one is a grass driveway that goes back to a back building, which is my shop, okay? Now, when cars come in to go to my shop, they run over the meter. So is it gonna be possible to move that meter to a different location? Or maybe to move it over 2 feet over one way or the other?
Yeah, we can coordinate that, but if you,
Yeah.
We ran into that in the past, if we
Yeah.
drive.
Okay, good.
Yes.
So who would I need to talk to about that to get further information?
to be honest, we can note your address, but it's probably better just when the work starts to coordinate with the field guys, because it's liable to be a year from now before they, or
Yeah,
6 months from now before they get to that.
yeah.
What street was it?
It's
Mark,
2449 Martin Road, Martin. It's just 1 street south of Old Bay Road.
Yeah, we'll write the address
And
down.
I have been dealing with that, we've owned that house over 50 years, and been dealing with that meter in the wrong place.
Maybe there's at least fix one 50-year problem.
We're replacing it.
Okay,
All right, any other questions for this project? Yes, sir.
Will any of the project be, will you require any damage to our properties, our lawns?
More than likely, now, being that most of this project is gonna be bored, that's gonna eliminate the majority of what normally would be torn up in your grass.
How are they gonna fix it?
So they are gonna fix it, do we have seed?
We have saw it.
We have seed and sod, okay, so we do have sod in the contract, so everything will be put back, and there will be sod replaced.
The reason I'm asking this is when they did the drainage, fixed the drainage pipes on Spratley, they promised to put in topsoil, but they didn't. That was supposed to be part of the project, and they put this, I don't know where they got it from, but it's full of oyster shells. That was not acceptable as far as I'm concerned. But that's what we got stuck with when the contractor said, looked me right in the eye and said, yes, we're putting in topsoil and seeding it.
And usually we put back the dirt that we take out, especially in those kind of, and we'll be doing such little digging, it won't be, hopefully you won't have a lot of that issue, but we have to do inside in
But
the,
as long as it got you here, are you ever gonna fix my topsoil that they destroyed and it doesn't grow grass?
we can talk about that afterwards if we need to.
Yes, please.
Okay. Yeah,
Is this for the water piping?
yes.
Well, I was here at 5:30 and of course they said, no, it starts after. But that's not what the card said. But anyway.
Yeah, yes, this is for the water project in the Bay Vista subdivision. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so they're gonna run the new line on the opposite side of the street of where the existing line is. Are they going to leave the existing line in place then?
Yes.
Indefinitely?
Yes. We're gonna flow fill it. We're gonna,
Yeah, one of the.
yeah. So we're gonna try to we're gonna handle the asbestos pipe as least as possible. There will be some places we might have to tear it out. They know what to do with it, they know how to dispose of it, that kind of stuff. They know the requirements that they have to meet. But we're gonna leave it in the ground as much as possible, just fill it with some flow fill and leave it there.
Will they be replacing the lines going to our water heater?
They'll be replacing up to the water meter.
including,
No, we're not gonna be replacing the existing water meters are gonna stay.
that's what I say.
Yeah.
That's on the primary side. Secondary side is our water going from there to our home.
Yes, so the city's responsibility ends at the meter.
But you hook it to the meter. Okay.
Yeah, we will be hooked back to the meter, so your service will be restored.
Okay.
I
Yes,
heard you're doing one side of one side of the road. If the water line is on, close to me, on Randall, are they gonna be putting it on the other side of
they'll do that on every street. More than likely, yes.
There's some special circumstances.
Yeah. More than likely, yes, the new water main will be, it's gonna be on the opposite side of the street that the water main is on now. But they will either open cut or bore. Are we boring all services?
Services are supposed to be bored, and once we run into some of
Okay.
the water issues that we're running into.
Okay. Then the services will be bored under the road to tie your house back in.
So you're gonna cut a hole through the road or go on?
We're gonna go underneath it. Unless something happens, you know.
I have another question. If you direct drilling, the machine is gonna have to be on either side of the street, right? Well, that's gonna have to be in someone's, on someone's property.
It's gonna be, yes.
So I'm looking at, quite a mess there.
There's still gonna be a mess. There's still
So
gonna
if you
have to
direct
be some
drilling
digging.
on my side, then drilling to the other side, that's direct, drilling. Then that machine is gonna mess my property up.
And we
Now,
will,
how's that gonna be covered?
we have sod
For
in the
the
contract.
services that they don't use the big drilling machine, they use like a little mold that
She's
shoots.
an air bowl for the services, so we're literally 6 feet and 400 going out. Now, the long bores, yes, there will be a borer machine
You
there.
understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Legitimate question, but I didn't want my yard messed up with that machine.
They're gonna put soil back and, put ground back, sod.
Now, I guess I will be supplied with information on when you're gonna start
Yes.
and then where and so on and so forth ahead of time, right?
I will have to say, these guys are really good about keeping the neighborhood informed.
And we done some internal talking, we'll do a week or so ahead of it, we'll do door hangers. Once you meet one, the foreman, he will be here, the superintendent, you won't forget one. He's really good with the residents. I'm sure some of you folks will be giving cookies like they do over at Tanglewood
Yeah.
and every other place.
We never have a project, but the residents love the contractor. They bake them food and bring them out. So I'm telling you, these guys, they're good.
Yeah,
Y'all-
Juan's gonna, he will be here every day, and he will be very, very adamant about letting you know what's going on. And he's got a great ear to listen to you. He's a good asset to have.
And that's one thing, like you said, him and I talked about, we're gonna make some door hangers and hang them out ahead of time, so that, as we go, saying, hey, we'll be here next week. That way you'll kind of know and have, that a week or so ahead of time.
Is there a difference on the size of your pipe that you're putting in compared to what we have now?
You know what?
Yeah, right now, a lot of it's, 2 and 4 inch, and we're putting 8 inch, so also fire protection will be drastically better as well.
Will our water pressure go up or down?
Our pressure is dictated by the height of our water towers, so that shouldn't really change, but it should be more consistent if you experience fluctuations in pressure.
But if we
Right,
do
you
have
have
more,
the main water lines, they're gonna be, polypropylene.
It's C900, it's a type of PVC, yes, sir.
PVC.
Well, PVC is polypropylene.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have different, I guess,
What's
consistencies,
the
but,
acronym is?
yes, sir.
if the pressure does go down, is there any way that you can raise it up?
Yeah, it definitely won't go down. Yeah, it definitely won't go
And if
down.
it goes up, then there's a way that you can,
Yes, when they monitor, Public Works monitors the pressure too, like you said, with the wells and the tanks and all that, so they keep the pressure moderated, so. You shouldn't have any change in pressure, other than having consistent pressure all the time.
how long do you expect certain circumstances
What is that,
For all.
51 pounds?
Hold on one second, sir.
for our water to be out?
I don't know, well, when their water's out, like you're switching them over.
What we're switching over, we'll be able to get all the systems installed and tested prior to coming there. Unless there's something there that we don't see it hit, and I want to say that because I've been doing this a long time, there will be something in the ground that we won't see it will hit. So I'm saying that we'll fix it immediately, but as far as out to your house, we'll schedule that very closely with y'all, but typically to tie in the meter, you got maybe down an hour and a half tops.
Well, when you do this, will the water, are we gonna have to boil water for a while?
You shouldn't know, we'll have all the bacterial samples taken prior to connecting to you, so that way there's no switching of water.
So when you cut the water to the pipe, we're not gonna have to go get a bunch of bottles of water or anything like that?
No.
No, because we're leaving the old system active, so it's just gonna be switching over to the new one as opposed to there's some type of new system in, break, there will be no time for the water.
The only
We don't plan for you to have to go water, let me say that. When we get in there, that actually brings up a good point, when we get in there.
Usually I'm gonna get closer to these guys. Like,
Sure.
I can't hear it.
You know, that transite pipe is very sensitive. Sometimes we dig over here and 2 blocks away it breaks, so they get in there, they start boring, they get close to it, they may not even touch it and it might break. So no promises there won't be any boil water notices, but the plan is to not have
Is
it.
our water bill gonna go up?
No,
Our taxes gonna go up?
not because of this project, no sir.
Not because of this project.
Yeah, I can't answer you any, I don't have any control over taxes.
I'm just checking.
I just build things.
If you're getting free water now, it might go up.
We stay out of your way.
All right, any other questions? Good discussion. Yes.
I actually live on the clinic and have this is kind of what we're doing so I was wondering, are there any plans to kind of address issues like this?
So at this time, there's not any issues to address, or any projects to address the issues on Big Lake. I think we've been trying to focus on getting all the transite pipe. I think we have all the transite pipe out of the ground on Big Lake.
What is transit?
It's an old asbestos cement pipe that was used like in and it just doesn't last, it's not durable, breaks all the time. So that's kind of what we've been focusing on. I think it's on the ground in your area. But I will go back and double check and make sure, because if y'all are having breaks all the time, that's,
Well, we haven't had one in a while.
okay. I know y'all did, y'all had like back, and I think on that last break, we probably went in and pulled everybody off that transite pipe and put everybody on. Yes, I think.
I have one more question for you, and I'm gonna stay out of it.
Sure.
This is important to me.
Sure.
I've had some problems with the water line breaking in, the contractor didn't come out, whether it be the city or a private contractor. But when, after the water was turned back on, then I got all kind of trash. And my refrigerator filters and screwed all that up, washing machine got screwed up. Now, how would you do that?
So they're gonna flush the lines.
That's before it goes to the house.
Correct. Before they hook to the house, they'll flush the lines. And that's part of their whole testing and make sure it's chlorinated and get their back teas and all that requires the lines to be flushed.
That's what they were supposed to have done before, and it didn't happen. And I'm just bringing that to the attention because, and I don't want any problems, but I'm not able to fix it in a second.
And if that happens, let us know, let us know if that happens.
But once
They-
that trash,
We hadn't had that happen one time in Tanglewood that I know of.
No, we did, I mean, there's a few of the old existing lines
Yeah.
that just broke because we walked by them.
Yeah,
Nothing
yeah.
major, but we were able to flush them. And if, in the event, it won't happen on the big line, but if we do break it, old line, there is that potential, because we may bring trash from a mile away, depending on where the break is.
That's right.
And if that's the case, I'll give you one of these cards, you call me, and I have a plumber on it.
Yeah, okay. Well, I just don't want to go through that with my mind, since they all have still. But if that trash gets in the street, and for some reason it gets through there, then I got a problem with it. And I've had that happen before, I will say. I'm not trying to make something out of that experience. I've experienced it before. And, but another case, you said it's an 8-inch water line.
Yes.
Currently, it's like 2-inch and 4-inch and 6-inch, but we're replacing it all.
It starts off as 8 and then graduates down.
It starts off at 16 at the water tower, but then goes down to 1-inch at your house.
Okay, so right now I'm running pressure at 51 PSI. Is it still going to be that?
The pressure is dictated on how much water's in the tank, the
I
size.
understand the theory, I'm talking
Yeah.
about at my house.
Yeah, it should stay the same. If anything, it'll just be more consistent. Like right now, if everybody in your neighborhood takes a shower at the same time, since it's a smaller line, it could potentially drop. I don't know if that actually happens.
You got the volume there to make it different.
Yeah, so your pressure shouldn't increase any, it will just be more consistent.
You won't feel the effects of all your neighbors taking a shower at the same time anymore. If you
But I mean, you know, all I'm saying is if you got enough volume and pressure, it's still going to be 51 PSI.
You have a question, sir?
The line in front of the meter house, those, some of them are the same age as the water line in place. Do you have a recommendation on what the individual should do from the meter to the house? How can we know whether that's time to replace it?
You would have to call a plumber.
If you're not having issues, typically what triggered this project was repetitive issues, so if you haven't had issues in the past, I wouldn't. I can't promise you won't have issues in the future, but if you haven't had issues before, it shouldn't be a problem.
So God, I think I'm going to get one of your cards, I think I have all my questions answered.
All right, any other questions? Oh, yes.
As far as pressure goes, doesn't each meter have a pressure regulator?
Do the meters have a pressure regulator?
Yeah, to each house.
I don't know if our meters have, I'm sure they do.
We don't.
I mean,
The utility authority will provide those TRVs that lowers your pressure.
yeah, I think it's like Robert said, that it's just mainly
Just
controlled.
whatever pressure is in the
They
meter.
make pressure reducing valves,
Yeah.
but we prefer to run it as high a pressure as possible unless, like if that was an issue where we were blowing people's fixtures out or something, we may put one of those on, but we've never had that issue.
So if the pressure is really high, where I'm living, you'll come in and put a gauge in.
What?
You buddy?
Oh,
I mean,
I showed you, I don't need.
the physics of our system doesn't really allow it. There's no possible way we can run over a certain pressure. We don't have pumps or anything. It's all regulated by gravity. So we can't physically run higher than like 65 or 70 psi.
65. That's the max that you can run.
I mean, I'd have to look at the exact elevation of the tank to give you exact pressure, but that's roundabout. We average between like 55 and 70 psi, but rarely over 65. 65.
One more question, then I'll leave you alone. I know we're changing the pipe, and it's probably for a good reason, because they got a lot of rust. Right?
Well, it's just transit pipe, they have a lot, you have a lot of main breaks in your neighborhood. And so we're trying to get that pipe out of the ground, or not actually in the ground. We're replacing it so that y'all don't have as many main breaks.
Okay. One more question, maybe you can answer it or not. I heard a rumor that our water is pretty polluted. In the near future, does Biloxi have any plans on taking care of that problem?
So our water is heavily tested. Now, we don't, Public Works handles testing of the water system, so we don't have specifics, but they test our water. How long do they have to get tested? Probably don't know.
I mean, they test chlorine daily, but they have to do additional tests, monthly, and they do test, yearly as well, and the water report is on the city's website.
And it gets mailed to residents once a year.
Right, there's a water quality report that's
Right.
part of the B news that
Yeah.
comes out. So I don't know what you've heard, but the
Yeah.
water quality standards are met. So as far as I know, I mean,
We
I'm
actually-
drinking it.
Okay.
Yeah, we actually have a very good aquifer here. We pump our water out of the ground. It comes out really nice and clean. All we add
So
chlorine to
there's
it. Add
no-
chlorine to it, and that's it. We have great water here.
There's no cyanide or anything like that in the water?
You can, it's all that, it's on the water, no sir, but it's all, you can find all that, it's on the water quality.
Well, you hear things, and so I
Yeah.
figured, why not ask the people who are supposed
Absolutely,
to know?
absolutely.
Yeah, municipal water is regulated more than the bottled water
Yeah.
you buy.
Yeah.
There's a question back here.
Yeah, when the system was put in, will there be an increase in hydrants in the neighborhoods?
Yes,
There
we're
will.
putting in more hydrants, yes.
Would you like one in your front yard?
If that'll cut our insurance costs.
Yes,
If we put
Actually-
one in our front yard, will that, my homeowners don't, or my, Insurance?
I
I
couldn't
don't,
tell you.
yeah, I don't know, but I'd sure call and ask
I live
them.
right across the street from the fire station, it don't help my fire.
Were there-
Come over to the sewer.
Were there any other questions? I know Mr. Montas had a long day.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions?
All right, thank y'all very much.
Thank you for calling.